Welcome to Bear Lifestyle, the podcast where we speak up and speak out about all taboo topics and make them normal and acceptable.
You are invited to be curious, to try something new, and stay open to provocative perspectives.
I'm Simona Spark, a best-selling author, international speaker, transformational coach, and so many other things. Beyond anything else, I'm a woman who stopped following other people's rules and started creating my own.
I'm Carolyn Marcos, a life coach on a mission to break the labels and expectations that others place on us. I am a woman who used to hate her own body until I dared to become the sexy goddess I am today.
In this space, we are going to get naked by stripping away insecurities, self-judgments, and all kinds of limitations, and reach in for the essence of who we really are, Bear.
Beautiful, authentic, real, and ever evolving. Let's begin.
Hello, and we are back with champagne. Do you have your champagne? There we are. Celebration. We celebrate all of you, all the listeners, all the viewers, and each other.
Yes.
Welcome back. There is some noises coming through of ambulance. We're just gonna send love and compassion to who need it.
Absolutely.
And we're just gonna get present here. I think present could be the frame of this episode as we want to talk about how to get in our body and how to ask for what we want in an intimate setting. I mean, do we not need to know how to do that in any setting to start with?
We do. And I was just going to say that because for me, the place where I started to ask for what I want, and this is going to sound so silly, but it was just asking for what I wanted when it was like, we're going to go out to eat, because the argument used to be, where are we going to go? What do you want to eat? I don't know. And then we would end up going to just whatever place, anywhere. And now it's like, well, what do you want to eat? What am I feeling today? Like today, I feel Thai food,
Mhm.
or maybe I'm feeling like I want a salad. But it used to be so hard for me to even just speak that much, to say I want and have those words come out of my mouth, because this is what I was always afraid of. I was always afraid that I was going to take something away from somebody else. I was going to say something that somebody else didn't want. And then it's like, we're in this argument or whatever. In my mind, it was always bigger than it really was. But even just starting with saying what you want to eat could just be the beginning place,
Oh my
So
God, that is like so triggering to me right now. It really is in a way that I used to be with someone who will say, I will ask, what do you want to eat? And say, oh, I eat everything. Like making it like, I don't know. I never like it. It's like, but can you make a decision? I'm looking for a decision. As you say, like, I don't know. And I'm asking you to make a decision about dinner. And it's like, oh, whatever you wish. And
yeah.
it just makes you wonder, is like, do you not want to make a decision? Or
hmm
are you not capable of deciding? Or are you just a people pleaser? Or are you just want to appear like you are so accommodating and it doesn't matter. It's whatever you want, sweetheart, right? And it's like there's so
Exactly.
many layers to the thing.
Yes, there are. So imagine that if you can't even speak in a simple conversation, just not to be indecisive about something,
Hmm.
to make a decision about something, then how are you going to ask for what you want in the intimate settings of your relationship?
Right, right.
It's like, ah, that
Yeah.
that that for me was like the first place where it started to show up was when Sonia would ask, "So what do you want for dinner tonight?" And
Yeah.
it used to be, "Oh, whatever you want,"
Mhm.
because people pleaser, all of these, indecisive, all these things, all of it, all of the feels, all of the emotions, everything that went along with it.
Yes,
And
yes.
then one day she asked the question, and I said, I want Thai food tonight, or I would like to go try that fish place,
Hmm.
and she was like, "Oh, what?"
She
And
speaks.
yeah,
She
exactly.
speaks
She
her
knows what she
mind.
wants. Yes. And it was like the very first place where that really started to show up.
Yes,
And then it just blooms out from there. So just try one little thing. Try to say what it
yes,
is that you actually want to eat and and see how that feels because that triggered the daylights out of me the first time that I
yes.
spoke it out.
I love
Yeah.
that. So, um, the whole idea of calibrating to, I want to believe that everyone desire to be having the confidence of asking for what they want into a intimate setting. And what a beautiful way to calibrate, to build yourself up to that by just trying like different, everyday domestic tasks, like asking
Yep.
for what you want around the house, or you know the whole food conversation. Of course, and I hear what you say, what I want to eat today. And that's
Yep.
what goes for sex as well. What is it that I want now? What is
Yes.
my Thai food now?
Mhm.
Thai
What
food,
what
tofu. I say Thai food.
right?
What
What
is my
what
what is my dessert now?
yes,
There is no difference.
absolutely. There
It's
is no difference.
it's a buffet of variety of options, and
Yes.
while you might like most of them, you cannot eat it all at once. So you need to decide which one goes first and second and how much you want. And at the same
Exactly.
time, the things that you don't like, you just don't have to put it on your plate. You could leave it where they are.
Right? And just being able to even speak it, just to be able to say it, because how many times in our intimate relationships do we stop ourselves from asking for something out of fear,
Hmm.
or we stop ourselves from feeling something because and we go through with something that's uncomfortable or it's not what we wanted but leaves us feeling unsatisfied. All of those things happen.
Yes. What I like the most about your example with food and how we take the same process, because it's just the same process, we just apply it in a different area, right? We take the
Yes.
same process in a bedroom. It's
Yep.
really it's speaking to, you can be sexually confident if you're not confident in your own body.
Right.
Because what you take with you in a bedroom, you take your body naked. So I can't stress enough, the maybe the only work that you get to choose just one is to just look yourself in the mirror and be
Yeah.
like very super clear where your body is at, and feel your body, like know when you close your eyes, like know where are your cheeks, where are your arms, so how your back looks like being in the body. Like I see it, I keep giving this examples of, for me, being in a body is like when I meditate or I ground myself, I'm literally going in, and then I'm growing from inside out in a way that I want to feel touching the inside of my skin.
Yes.
So like I'm feeling my body, like I'm full of myself in my body.
Yep.
So then I know where my fingers go, and I know where my toes goes, and I know how big my butt is, and I know how my back curves and all of the things. So now I'm in my body because that's what I'm bringing into a sexual act. I'm not bringing my taste in music. I'm not bringing all the labors, like who you are being when you're there.
Yeah.
You can be there as somebody's mother. You can be there as someone's daughter. You can be like you have to let all the titles out the door and just be just you. No
Yep.
titles, no labels.
What an incredible experience that is, though, especially for a- and I am going to kind of generalize it here, especially for women, because we wear so many different hats in a day. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we play so many roles in a day. And I'm not saying that men don't play roles either, but for us to take off all of those hats, take off all of those different uniforms that we wear, and
Mm-hmm.
just present ourselves for ourselves, as ourselves, in ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and experience from that place, that is the ultimate place to be, because then you get to feel everything.
Yes. Yes. To feel the contour of your body with yourself.
Yep,
And
exactly.
I believe that everyone knows when they're not there. So if you listen to this and if you trigger a little, and I hope you are, with all my love,
Of course.
to just get curious, like what is that part of you that you are not allowing to come through, to participate in the act, right? And I know we talked before about those protective resistance mechanism because of the trauma and all that. And
Mhm.
go back to, I think it was episode 2. I'm not sure at this point. To listen to that, just go listen all of them to find what I'm talking about. But also as you, Caroline, said, and I so agree with that, and I so live my whole life by that, not being able and not knowing how to let go of all our responsibilities and all our titles and uniforms and such, right?
Mhm.
So I know that we will circle back to this and go even wider and deeper into the topic. But for time being, I would like to have a conversation about how we ask for things. How do we
Yes.
ask? How do we ask? And how do we know what to ask for?
I think the first thing that we need to check in with ourselves about is, are we do we feel safe enough, comfortable enough, and trusted enough in this space to, like, really be present with ourselves? Because if the answer to that is no, then you're not going to go any further. But
Yeah.
if the answer is yes, then why won't you ask for that touch that your body desires?
Mm-hmm.
Why won't you ask for the kiss that your lips really want? Why
Mm-hmm.
won't you hold your person in that embrace that you desire to feel so close to each other? Because we're taking away from ourselves, and we're taking away from our partners when we don't allow ourselves to ask for what they want. They want us to have exactly what we want.
Right.
They truly do. Even if they need um to talk about it, modify it, come to an agreement about how that's going to happen. Um, but that's the beautiful part of having the conversations during these intimate moments, is because then we really get to know. It's like, okay, so what my thinking is this, what's your thinking on this? And then this is what I want. How does this, you know, come through for you? and Sonia and I have been able to have these conversations. We never used to talk during intimacy. I mean, there was way too much of my own giggling going on for there to be any conversation going on. But now that it's conversation, and then it gets very quiet because at that point we're just listening to each other at that point, you
Right.
know. And I think our bodies speak a whole nother language
Oh,
that
yes.
some of us are not even aware of. Our body is responding to things before we've even taken a step to say, yes, I want that.
Yes.
Our
Yes.
body is making that response.
And I was about to say that when you say that you are talking during, and just to say that that's not everybody's case, and it's not
No,
required. And
no,
like anywhere else in life, the body language is so much powerful because you know what? Body never lies.
exactly.
Body never lies, and the same way that we talked previously here, you feel inspired or you feel trigger, that your brain is not in participating in that. It's like you feel it in your body and you
Y-
know, and
Yes,
your brain come with explanation and excuses and justification and whatever, but that's like whatever, that's too late. Your body already told you the truth. You are
right,
inspired or you are triggered. Same when you are in a erotic space, it's like your body is gonna respond, it's gonna retrieve if it's not pleasure, and it's gonna lean in if it's pleasurable. It's
right.
very simple, really.
It really truly
It's
is. I
not
mean, if you
even that complicated.
No, because if you think about it, it's like how many times maybe have you gone to dinner with a girlfriend and the conversation turns to, what do they experience in their dating life, or what are you experiencing? Or you're talking about sex, just plain and simple. And you lean in a little bit closer because you want to hear that
Yes.
conversation. We do the same thing in our intimate relationships. When it feels good, we're leaning in, we're opening up more, we're expressing that arousal. And when it doesn't feel good, we pull back, we're we push off. Our body is already speaking that language that our mouth won't speak.
Yes. Yes.
So it's that alignment that has to happen. It's like getting into that place where everything is so aligned that your mouth is able to speak what your body is already saying.
Your mouth is just translating. It's just putting
Eh,
in words what your body already feels.
yes. Yeah.
When you said express yourself, I remember, oh God, I'm so bad with title his name. Stop that. Don't say you bad. Learn.
Right, because your brain's always hearing you.
Yes, yes. I think it's Woman Who Ran with Wolves or something like that. It's a
Oh,
really
I love that.
incredible book.
It
But
is.
what I remember from there, I'm paraphrasing. I hope she's not listening to this. But she was saying that women have a soul desire to express themselves.
Yes.
And I want to extend that everybody has a soul desire to express themselves, but this book is particularly addressing to women, right? And as you
Mhm.
said earlier, like especially women, like we do generalize, but especially women, because we deal with so much resistance and pain and trauma that what we do automatically we just retrieve and we are not asking. As I shared in a previous episode, if I ask one, I ask twice, I ask three times, like I make a decision because something wrong with me, and there's nothing wrong with me. And
Right.
the minute I decided that there's nothing wrong with me and I get to have everything that I desire, next person that I met knew exactly what to give me without me even saying it.
Right. Exactly. It's so funny because when we release these things, when we beyond those things, and we stop making it about ourselves, and we stop trying to hide it, we stop trying to judge it and justify it, But when we stop doing all of that, that's when it feels like the universe kind of opens up and says, "Oh, you are so ready for this. Like,
Hmm.
this is what's happening next. This is
Yes.
what's going to come next." And that part is so exciting to me because that is where I am experiencing every single day right now.
Yes. Yes. And that's what we want for everyone, for everyone.
Everyone.
And as any type of transformation or change, it starts with you. So,
Yes.
um, knowing about when you say the touch that you ask for, the kiss that you ask for, the sensation that you ask for, I think it starts with us exploring those on our own,
Yes.
right? And it's like, how would I like to be touched? How I feel? What do I feel when I touch myself here, there, here, there? And
Yes.
then I know what I like, but also staying curious. Then when another person is involved, could you might not like it, or you might like it even more. Why? Because
Yes.
it's a different energy that is coming in an equation, right?
Yes.
It's that mix
Yep.
that we talk about. I have my energy, you have yours, and when we come together, it's just a new energy is being born that is
Yes.
gonna change all the sensation. So dating as an adult, mid 40s, it's very interesting because I hear over and over again, like people will let you know, like, I'm good in bad, I'm not good in bad, or whatever. Like, I hate that expression. I flat hate it, right? Regardless of
Right.
what you're saying. And then the thing is, like, but you don't know. What you are saying, you are telling me something that already happened
Yes.
with another person
Yes.
as you who you used to be at that time.
Yes.
Because if I look at that, like, oh shit, I was terrible. I was
Right?
scared, I was in pain, and I hated it. Let's start from there. That's what I started it. And fear for my life. That
Yep.
and is shame and all the bad feelings about it, right? So I won't share that with the date. It's just I'm sharing now with the whole world, right? But it's like I no, I don't want to leave any room for somebody to judge who I am today based on who I used to be years ago. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. It just doesn't feel right. It,
Doesn't feel
you
right.
know, because and think of it this way too. I love the idea of every day meeting yourself right where you are in that
Hmm.
moment and then getting to express yourself from that space. What does that feel like? What does that look like? How does that taste? How does that bring in different experiences? And then, going out with somebody for the first time, they don't know you. They have no idea about you. And so you get to explore even more of yourself in that aspect of things. And I
Yeah.
think that's exciting.
That's where I find dating excited, and I hear people like, "Oh, it's so hard to date these days, and it's pandemic, and it's virtual, and it's like," I'm like, "It's so much fun."
Yeah, it's so amazing.
It's so amazing. It's so amazing. So, how do we ask for things? I just want to wrap up with the same question that we started.
How do you ask for things?
I like that. And I think that's the most powerful. How do you ask for things? The same way that you ask for anything. Be yourself.
Yes,
Like, I'm known for
exactly.
being, straightforward, and there is not a lot of flowering and pretty papers wrapping and whatever. It's kind of how I ask for things. Like, hey, would you do that?
Yeah.
Please.
And exactly. So ask the way that you would ask.
Yes.
Just in your normal tone of voice or in your erotic moment, just ask and
Hmm.
see what happens. I love the challenge of ask because it's only going to be no if you don't ask. The,
Ooh. So I'm gonna ask for this. I'm gonna ask, our listeners and viewers to let
yes.
us know. You have the both emails, mine and Carolyn, whomever you choose. Let us know what is one thing that you ask and what happened. Just short and
Yes.
sweet and simple, or you could make it long and elaborated. We are open to anything.
Absolutely.
Just to put yourself into a space where, as Carolyn was saying, I'm just gonna be me.
Mhm.
I explore, I know what I like, I know what I want, and I'm just gonna ask for it and see what happens.
Yeah. Because the worst thing that can happen is that you don't get that, but maybe you get something else. And maybe that was more powerful than what the actual ask was.
And it's a
So
matter of like that confidence that we talk about is you can't just sit around on a side and wait to be confident or whatever. You actually have to step into it and practice it. It's a practice over and
yes.
over and over again, right? Like here we
Yeah.
are, like you guys, when we start this, we make a list of episodes, what's gonna happen, and we kind of threw the list off the window in the middle of the first episode. And and how it goes. So there is no scripts as we have an intention. Hey, let's talk about this. Hey, talk. It's a long list of like little words, like topics, and so open. And please let us know what are the topics that interest you, that inspire you, that trigger you. What would you like to hear more about? Do you have any specific questions? Right? And that's what we do here. I'm being me, Carolyn is being her. We have a conversation between two women with different preferences, with different styles, with different tastes. And we just want to cover as much as possible in this space for the same and only one intention to step into our own power
Yeah.
and fully be.
Yeah. It when you step into that power, it feels amazing. You will envelop your whole body. You will step into all of who you are.
Yes.
That's just the part that I love the most.
And that is just a new foundation, is just the beginning. Because there is that fear, if I get there, then what? Then I'm done. No, you're not. Because when you are
No.
there and you're just full and you own that power, it's just the whole nother world is opening up for you. And that is a promise. So,
Yep.
that
Ever
being said,
evolving.
as we are closing here for now, I would like to let you know about our bear retreat coming up in a couple months here. In the description, you will have a link where you could have register yourself to be updated via email about where it's going to be, how it's going to be. All I could tell you now is that we envision this retreat to be quite small, so 6, maybe 8 people. It's
Mhm.
gonna be intimate. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be luxurious. It's gonna be phenomenal. We're gonna celebrate each other in a way that I want to believe you never done it before, and it's going to be 3 or 4 days. So all of those details we are working out to find the right location. Probably it's gonna be in California, most likely around LA area. Nothing is final. Things could change. Uh, but I want you to be alert about what's coming up. And besides that, join us in the next episode. Join our community, Bear
Yeah.
Experience, the Facebook group, and you're gonna find all the links in the description of this episode. Anything else you want to add, Miss Carolyn, in closing?
Just complete gratitude to have this space to talk about it and to welcome our listeners in to talk about it as well.
Yes. All right, you guys. Love you, celebrate you, and see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.
We will love to hear from you. What inspired you? What triggered you? And what interests you?
Do you have questions? Perfect. Get your answers in our Q&A sessions in the Bear Experience Facebook group.
There are many ways for you to join the conversation. You could leave your comments or you could email us.
We can't wait to have you back. Till then, be Bear.
Beautiful, authentic, real, and ever evolving.